Yeah, good afternoon all. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone any doubts in this principle of orthography projection? What is my first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant? Anyone any doubts? Should I explain again what is my first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant? Everyone compulsory watch the video links what I have shared in our WhatsApp group. So watch it once. And only 33 students have joined the Google Classroom. So all the 59 members should join the Google Classroom. Okay. So inform once again that everyone need to join the Google Classroom and submit the sheets. If anyone not submitting the sheets in the Google Classroom, they'll get 0 marks within the
Sir, I
stipulated time.
can't get into the Google Classrooms.
Okay, once ask your CR, either girls
Okay,
here or
sir.
boys here, once ask. If they are unable to do it also, then call me or message me. I will guide you how to join in the Google Classroom.
Okay, sir.
Everyone compulsory should join because my all further communication will be in the Google Classroom only. I won't post anything in the WhatsApp group. Everything, the notes or anything, I'll post only in the Google Classroom. So everyone need to join the Google Classroom compulsory. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone watch this video once. Watch one video. So what happens is this is my horizontal plane. This is my horizontal plane, and this is my vertical plane. If the plane is vertical, it is called vertical plane. If the plane is horizontal, it is called horizontal plane. And what happens here is, if I want to place any object above on my horizontal plane, I can place any object either above the horizontal plane or below the horizontal plane or on the horizontal plane. There are 3 cases. If I want to place any object, I can place the object above horizontal plane, on the horizontal plane, or below horizontal plane. So this is called 0. This is called 0. And we consider this as letter D. Letter D, either the distance above the horizontal plane or below the horizontal plane. Anything above the horizontal plane is called positive D. Anything below the horizontal plane is called negative D. And there are only 3 possible cases. Either it will be above the horizontal plane, on the horizontal plane, or below the horizontal plane. Similarly, this is your vertical plane. This is your vertical plane. So with respect to vertical plane, either I can place an object either in front of vertical plane or behind the vertical plane. I can place the object in front of vertical plane, behind the vertical plane, or on the vertical plane. I can place any object. Okay. So there are only 2 cases possible for the vertical plane, either in front of vertical plane, behind vertical plane, or on the vertical plane. On the vertical plane is very rare. On the vertical plane or on the horizontal plane. So if you see the horizontal plane, there are only 2 cases possible, either above horizontal plane or below horizontal plane or on the horizontal plane. Okay. That's the thing we follow in this. If you look at this one also, if you look at this PPT, so there are only 2 cases for this horizontal plane, either above horizontal plane or below horizontal plane. If you see this vertical plane, there are 2 things possible, in front of vertical plane or behind the vertical plane. Generally, we consider those things. Okay. And we consider vertical plane is a fixed plane. Vertical plane doesn't rotate any side. And this horizontal plane rotates depend upon the situation. It will rotate in the clockwise. It will rotate in the clockwise direction. Okay. So it is similar to your whatever you are learned in the quadrants, how to draw the graph. Similar to this one, this will be there. So this is your quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. This we called as the first quadrant, first angle method. First angle method, FAM I'm writing, first angle method. And second one is the second angle method. We called as second angle method. Third is the third angle method. Third quadrant is the third angle method. And fourth one is the fourth angle method. Fourth angle method. Okay. So generally when you're drawing the graph, we consider this as X plane. So here we don't consider as X plane. This we consider as letter D. D is nothing but distance from the horizontal plane. This is my horizontal plane. Distance from the horizontal plane, either it will be above or below. Okay. And if you see this one, anything above is positive. Anything above is positive. Anything below the horizontal plane is negative. Negative D. Similarly, this we call as a vertical plane. This we call vertical plane, and this vertical plane is represented by letter H. Represented by letter H, and whenever it is right side to the vertical plane, we consider it as positive H, and whenever it is left side, we consider negative H. H is nothing but distance above or below from the vertical plane. We consider it as okay. So I gave the wrong dimension. This is called H distance, and this is called D distance. Okay. So H is nothing but above or below the horizontal plane. D is nothing but in front of or behind the vertical plane. Vertical plane has only two things. Either it can be in front of vertical plane or behind the vertical plane. Okay. So if I place any object here at a certain distance of H, a certain distance of D, so H is positive and D is positive. Okay. So in the first quadrant, both are positive. H and D both are positive. If you see the second quadrant, what happens is the D will be negative. The D will be negative and H will be positive. Height is positive and it will be behind the vertical plane, so it is negative. Similarly, if you take the third angle projection, the H will be negative. This is my H distance. H distance is negative and D distance is also negative. Both are negative in the third angle projection. If I see the fourth angle projection, in the fourth angle projection, the letter D is positive. The letter D is positive and H is negative. Okay. Similarly, like this, if this is a horizontal plane, anything above horizontal plane is positive. Anything below horizontal plane is negative. Similarly, if I consider this as my vertical plane or letter D, so anything in front of vertical plane is positive. Anything in front of vertical plane is positive, and anything behind the vertical plane is negative. Okay, we consider these things while we do in this projection of orthographic projection. Okay. Yeah, everyone raise your hands. I'll be taking the attendance. Everyone raise your hands. Yeah, still few members are not raising hands. 7, 10, 11, 17, 21, 24, 30, 34, 37, 41, 45, 55. If you're not raising your hands, you'll be marked as absent. Yeah, still 7, 11, 17, 35, 37, 45, and 55. Yeah, still 7, 11, 17, 35, 45, and 55. If you're not raising your hands, you'll be marked as absent. And attend the class regularly. Whenever you have drawing class, attend class regularly. Because if you're not understanding these concepts, you won't understand the other concept. Okay? I'm lowering all the hands. So here we consider the total 4 quadrants. So in the first quadrant, H is positive, D is positive. In the second quadrant, H is positive, D is negative. In the third quadrant, H is negative, D is negative. In the fourth quadrant, H is negative and D is positive. Like this, you have to start.
Sir, we are not getting the screen, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, wait for
Sir,
just 1 minute.
55%.
Yeah, you have to raise the hands within the time. Okay. Yeah, wait, and I will be sharing the screen. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes.
Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, yeah, everyone look here. Look in the video, everyone. So what happens here is whenever we are performing the first angle projection, this is your horizontal plane and this is your vertical plane. So the observer eyesight is with respect to the horizontal plane. And what we have to do is we have to rotate this in the positive direction. Then only you can see this one.
Sir, screen, sir.
Is no. See the video once. My video. Look at the video. Okay. Pin the video of EIE1 as receiver.ac.in. Okay. So this is your first angle projection. The front view is projected on the vertical plane and the top view is projected on the horizontal plane. And you can't see what is the shape here. What is the shape on the horizontal plane? So in order to see, what we have to do is we have to rotate in the clockwise direction. We have to rotate this horizontal plane in the clockwise direction, so that then you can see the both. Okay. Similarly, this is your second angle projection, and the observer is seeing from this side. Observer is seeing from the right hand side. So in order to see this horizontal plane and vertical plane, what we do is we rotate in the clockwise direction. When we rotate in the clockwise direction, both the top view and front view overlap with each other. And this is your third angle projection. Your third angle projection will be like this. And this here you will be seeing the top view, and here you will be seeing your front view of any object. So in order to see, what we have to do is we have to rotate like this. So top view will be above XY line and front view will be below XY line. And similarly, this is your fourth angle projection, and this is your fourth angle projection. In this fourth angle projection, this is your top view, this is your front view. So observer want to see the top view and front view both simultaneously. So we will lifting this horizontal plane. We will rotate this horizontal plane in the clockwise direction, so that both the views are overlapping. Front view, top view overlapping, so that we can't see it is overlapping with each other. Okay. So that is the same thing explained in the note. So in this note, I have explained that. So a line joining top view and front view is called always perpendicular XY. And in the first quadrant, VP and HP are non-transparent, so that you can see the shadow here. In the second quadrant, observer will be here. In order to see the object, this should be transparent. Both should be transparent. In order to see the vertical plane will be transparent, and this one will be transparent in order to see the object shape. In the third quadrant, both HP and VP are transparent in order to see the object. In the fourth quadrant, this is non-transparent and this is non-transparent in order to see. And this horizontal plane rotate clockwise. This horizontal plane rotate clockwise in order to see the object. And the line joining front view, horizontal plane and vertical plane is called XY line. And if you want to see the side view, this is my side view. If I want to see the side view, the side view passes through the X1 line. This is my X1 line, and this is Y1 line. Okay, X1, Y1 line, it has to move. Okay. And this is my point A. If I want to project my point A in the vertical plane, it is projected as small letter A dash. Front view or vertical plane, it will project as A dash. In the top view, it will project as small letter A. And similarly in the side view, it is projected as A double dash. This thing you have to remember. This is a capital letter A. This capital letter A will be projected in the front view as small letter A dash. In the top view as small letter A. In the side view it as small letter A double dash. Okay. Front view is also called as elevation. In some of the problems, they call show the elevation view, they will ask. Or else they will ask, show the plan. Plan is nothing but the top view. This is my top view. Top view is plan and front view is elevation. Side view is directly called as side view. Okay. So front view you have to represent as A dash, small. Top view you have to represent as A. Side view you have to represent as A double dash. Okay. And this is your observer will be having the eyesight with respect to the horizontal plane. And these are the views. If you are only first quadrant and third quadrant, both are at different, you have to rotate clockwise. So he can see this is my XY line. On top of my XY line, I can see this shape. And I need to project the lines. I need to project these lines. And these lines I need to project. So instead of this one at a certain distance, this is my one more circle and this is one more circle. So with respect to XY, this is my positive H. This is my positive D. Okay, whatever may be this distance is positive D. And what is the, and height? Height is considered as H. Height is considered as H. And the bottom one will be considered as D. Okay. So you have to see those two things. Yeah, wait for a few minutes. There is some network issue. Yeah. So observer will be looking at this side, and this is a vertical distance is the H distance, and the horizontal distance. Suppose it is the circle is at this side, then it will be D equal to 0. But the circle is at a certain distance. This is called D is positive, and this glass is at certain height from the ground, and this vertical height is called H. Okay. So if you look at this case, water may be this height from the ground is called H distance, and water may be this distance in front. How much is the infant distance? This is called D distance. We are 0. Okay, already discussed in the last class. So this is my point A. If I project my point A, it will become as A dash in the front view, and the top view it will become as small letter A. And water may be this distance. this distance I am rotating in the clockwise direction. So whatever is this distance with respect to the xy, this is my vertical distance you have to draw. So already I have shared the video, watch that video once. So this is my, how to draw it, draw a xy line. First draw this xy line. Mark a center O. From the center O, give h distance. Suppose h is 10, 20, 25, depend upon the problem. Mark it as A dash. And below mark it as letter A and give the distance as D. And this distance is h. So you can see what is meant by h distance and D distance. H is nothing but the distance above or below of the point HP. So this is above h. And D is nothing but in front of or behind. This is in front, this is behind. So in front, it is at a distance of D distance. So this D is positive here. So here H and D is positive. Okay. So this is your first angle projection, and front view will be above xy line and top view will be below xy line. Okay. And okay. So next is the second angle projection. In the second angle projection, observer will be here, and in order to see this one, this object should be, this VP and HP will be transparent and it will overlap with each other, and front view, top view overlaps with each other in this second quadrant. So that's the reason we don't use second angle projection. So this is a letter B, capital letter B, projected as B dash in the on the VP and B on the HP. And depending upon the H and D distance, whether H may be high or D may be high. With respect to D distance, we'll get top view. With respect to H distance, we'll get the front view. So you have to write B dash for the H distance and B for the D distance. Okay. Next is the third angle projection. In the third angle projection, object is placed here and the observer will be here. And the observer will be here. So in order to see what are the object shape he has to see, so we'll be rotating this in the clockwise direction. So the top view will be above and front view will be below in the third angle projection. So when we are rotating, the D distance will be above xy line and H will be below xy line. D is nothing but the top view, so you have to write small letter. H is nothing but the front view, so you have to write C dash on this one. Okay. And in the fourth angle projection, observer will be with respect to this side, and in order to see both the things, vertical plane cannot be rotated. So what we do is we rotate this in the clockwise direction. We rotate in the clockwise direction. Yeah, wait for 1 or 2 minutes. This slide is not sharing. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, so if you see the fourth quadrant, in this fourth quadrant, what happens is, in the fourth quadrant, the observer will be somewhere here, and in order to see the observer, we will rotate in the clockwise direction, and both are overlapping. So front view, top view will overlap with each other in the fourth quadrant. Okay. So this is the same thing. So H and D both are at the bottom, and this is my D value. This is my D distance, which is positive. D is positive and H is negative. And H is negative, H will be getting in this case. In the fourth quadrant, it will be reverse. Okay. Yeah, wait for a few minutes. The screen is not showing. So in the fourth quadrant, what happens is the H is below XY line. H is negative, so it will be below XY line, and D is positive. D is positive, so it will be below XY line because it is the point is below XY line, so it will be below XY line in this case. So whenever we are representing the front view or elevation, it should be A dash. If the letter is A, it should be A dash. If the letter is suppose T, letter T, then front view should be T, small T dash. Top view should be small letter T, and the side view should be small letter T double dash. These things you have to remember. Okay. And H will be above, D will be below. Whenever D is positive, D will be below XY line. And whenever H is positive, H will be above XY line. And the second, in the third quadrant, H is negative and D is negative. Since H is negative, it will come below XY line in the third quadrant because first and third quadrant are totally opposite. And next is the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, H is positive and D is negative. Whenever the D is negative, it will come above XY line. Okay. And in the fourth quadrant, H is negative. So whenever the H is negative, it will come below XY line. And whenever the D is positive, it will come below XY line. Okay. So this is my XY line. With respect to XY line, this is my first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. This you have to remember. Okay. And one more thing is profile plane. And one more thing is the profile plane. Okay. So if you see the profile plane, this profile plane is nothing but to get the side view. So suppose this is my letter A. Letter A is a point. So this point is projected as A dash in the front view, or on the vertical plane, it will project as A dash. On the HP or on the top view, it will projected as, on my top view to project as small letter A. On the side view, it should be projected as A double dash. It should be projected. Okay. Yeah. So that's the reason we use this one. Okay. So I'll start the first problem. I will ask you questions. So you have to tell me. So a point A is 20 mm above HP. A point A is 20 mm above HP, and that point only is 30 mm in front of VP. That point is 30 mm in front of VP. Then you have to draw its projections. Okay. So everyone look here. Can anyone tell me what is the H distance? H is nothing but above or below the point. D is nothing but in front of behind the V point. So can anyone tell me what is the H? What is the H value? Positive or negative? H. Yeah, unmute and you have to respond. H is positive or negative?
Positive, sir.
Positive, sir.
This is positive. Value?
20 mm.
20 mm.
20 mm. So this is a horizontal plane. In the problem, they told that it is above 20 mm. So H is positive 20 mm. Next is the D distance. D is positive or negative? This is my
Positive.
vertical. It is in front or
Positive.
behind? So it is
Positive.
positive. So in front, how much distance? 30 mm.
30.
So it is plus 30 mm. Okay. So Then you have to find it is which quadrant. Whenever H is positive, D is positive, it is first quadrant, you have to know. And this is my object. So this is my letter A. It is at a distance of 30 mm, in front of 30 mm, and at a height of 20 mm. So this I have to draw. So first I have to draw my XY line. This XY line is joining the vertical plane and horizontal plane. So first draw the XY line. First draw the XY line and mark a center O. Center O, you have to mark the center O and give the H distance. Give plus H, whatever the value, H equal to 30. Whenever the H is positive, it will be above XY line. And you have to mark this as A dash. And below you have to mark, below is the positive D distance, which is 30 mm. So H is 20. So H you have to take 20 and D is equal to 30. So mark the distance as A, small letter A. Okay, so this is your problem. This can be asked as a 2 marks question in your exam. Okay. So same problem. So vertical height H is A dash and below D distance is 30. You have to draw this one, and you have to draw this is your only this one you have to draw. Only the C bit you have to draw. Whenever this question is asked, no need of drawing this one and this one. You have to draw the final. Draw the XY line. Mark the center O. A distance is H distance is A dash. D distance is small letter A. 30 and 20. You have to draw. Any doubt, you can unmute and you can ask. If any doubt, you can unmute and you can ask. This is what your seniors have drawn. You have to draw the XY line, height A dash, below A. You have to draw. This is the short answers question. 2 marks for 2 marks, it might be asked. Okay. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. If no doubts, I will start the next problem. Okay. So next one. So I will tell you how to draw with the pencils. Okay. So first draw the XY line with H pencil. Draw the XY line with the H pencil, and everything you have to draw with the H pencil. Complete everything you have to draw with the H pencil. Center O and A dash and A double dash. Everything you have to draw with the H pencil, and you have to use the 2H pencil. You have to use 2H pencil to represent the dimension. The dimension is 20 mm and 30 mm. 20 and 30. So for representing the 20 and 30, for representing the dimension, you have to use 2H pencil. Okay, and this is the point. You have to highlight the point. You have to highlight the point with HB pencil because HB is the darker pencil. So you have to highlight the letter A and A dash with the HB pencil. Okay. So I will share this in my PPT so that you can use this pencil. You have to compulsory highlight this point with HB pencil, these 2 points with the HB pencil, and the dimension. You have to draw the dimension. You have to draw the dimension with the 2H pencil, and everything you have to draw with the H pencil. Everything you have to draw with the H pencil, dimension with the 2H, and the front view and top view point with the HB pencil. Okay. Any doubts? You can unmute and you can ask. You have to use compulsory 3 pencils, H, 2H, and 3H, and HB pencil. 3 pencils you have to use. Okay. Yeah. So next problem. Draw the projection of point A lying on HP and 25 mm in front of VP. So can anyone tell me what is the H value, whether it is positive or negative, and D value, whether it is positive or negative? Draw the projection of point A lying on HP and 25 mm in front of VP. Yeah. Anyone? What is the H value, positive or negative? D value, positive or negative? H is positive. What is the value? This is my HP. Okay, so HP is difficult. Tell me the D value. D is positive or negative?
Positive, sir. 25 mm.
D is positive 25. So what is the value of HP? So this is my VP. This vertical plane is 25 mm in front of. And what about HP? A point is lying on HP. So what will be the product? So this is my HP. So the point is neither above HP or below HP. The point is on HP. So what is the H value?
0, sir.
0 mm. Okay. So whenever a point lying on HP, H equals 0. Whenever a point lying on VP, D equal to 0. Whenever a point lying on HP, H equal to 0. These things you have to remember. Okay. Yeah. So I will start the problem. So H is nothing but distance above or below point of HP. D is nothing but in front or behind of VP. So H equal to 0 mm because it is lying on HP, and D equal to positive 25. So whenever D is positive, it is below XY line. Whenever H is positive, it lies on the XY line or above XY line. Okay. So the quadrant is first quadrant. So whenever a point is positive, 0 is a positive number. Minus 0.1 is a negative number. 0 is a positive number. So it is in the first quadrant. H is positive, D is positive. We have to consider this as first quadrant. Okay. So there is no H distance. It is lying on this one, and this is my point A. So if I will show this one. So this is our object. This is our first angle. So it is lying at a distance of, this is my D distance. At a D distance, it is lying on HP. So whenever I project, so this is my D distance. Whenever I project this distance, this is nothing but the small letter A, and this is projected as A dash. Okay. So same thing. Note of drawing this 3D figure, draw the final figure. Okay. So first draw the XY line and first locate. So here you don't have 0. Center is, don't write center 0. 0 is overlapped by the letter A dash, and below you have 25. You have to take a distance of 25, and at that point you have to write the letter is A. Okay. So like this you have to represent, and this is what your seniors have drawn. So don't write 0. 0 is overlapped with the A dash, so you have to remove 0. So A dash and A. A dash lies on the XY line because H equal to 0. A dash lies on XY line, and D distance is 20 plus 25. So it is at a distance of 25 mm. Okay. Any doubts you can unmute and you can ask. If any doubts you can unmute and you can ask. Okay. So I hope no doubts. So I will go to the next slide. I hope no doubts. So I will go into next slide. Yeah. Anyone, any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. Anyone, any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. Because this is important topic. If you don't understand unit 5, you don't understand other topics. Unit 3, unit 4, unit 5, you won't understand. Okay. That's the reason I'm going slow. Okay.
Sir, will you just show
Yeah.
all the one example for all the quadrants, sir?
Already I have shown. This is a yeah. I'll be showing first problem. First 2 problems is the first quadrant. Third question is the second quadrant. Fourth question is the third quadrant. Fifth question is the fourth quadrant. I will be showing. Okay.
Okay, so that we'll understand the difference, no, sir. So that.
Yeah, you will understand.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So next is the projection. A point lying on VP and 70 mm above HP. So what is the H value? Positive or negative? D value positive or negative?
D is 0, no, sir.
D equal to 0 because it is lying on VP. What is the H value?
70.
Positive 70. Okay. So it is a which quadrant? First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. H is positive, D is positive. Which quadrant?
First quadrant.
First quadrant.
First quadrant. So this is also a first quadrant problem. Okay. So H is plus 70 and D is equal to 0 mm. It is first quadrant. So it is lying on this one. So this is our first quadrant. So in the first quadrant, it is lying on VP. VP equal to 0. VP equal to 0. It is lying on VP. Okay, and it is at a height of 70. It is at a height of 70. So H distance equal to 70. So when this is a front view should be projected as A dash, and the top view, this is my top view. My top view will projected as small letter A. Okay. So like this, you have to draw. And same thing, draw the XY line. Next, then you have to locate the center O, but this letter O is over, center O is overlapped with the A. So write the letter A and give a height of 70. Give a height of 70 and mark the point as A dash. Mark the point as A dash. Okay. So whenever I represent A, it is the top view. Whenever I represent A dash is my front view. Okay. And this is what your seniors have drawn. So same thing. Draw the XY line 70. Don't give O because O is overlapped with the A letter A, small letter A. And at a height of 70, you can see the front view of that A dash. Okay. Yeah. So next problem. So tell me what is the H value and D value here? Positive or negative? With positive or negative? What is the H value and what is the D value?
Sir, H is 20, sir.
Positive or negative? This is my
Negative.
HP, this is my VP. HP is positive or negative?
H is positive, sir. D
Positive.
is negative, sir.
Negative, sir.
Positive 20 mm and D is
D is 30 minus 30.
minus 30 because above HP is positive and behind VP is negative. Okay, behind VP is negative. So
Second
this is my
quadrant.
VP. Yeah, so it will be in second quadrant. So quadrant is second quadrant. Okay. So whenever it is second quadrant, both the first angle and both the views are overlapped with each other. So this is my observer will be standing here. This is a transparent. So this is my letter B, capital letter B. It is at a distance of 30, negative 30, and it is at a, with respect to horizontal plane, it is above 20. Okay. Then if you see this one, what I have to do is I have to rotate this in the clockwise direction. I have to rotate this in the clockwise direction because observer stands here only. He doesn't move, but he can't see this object here. So that's the reason. In order to see this object, we will be rotating this into clockwise direction. And first draw the XY line. Then make a height H. The H is 20. So give this as 20. But here you shouldn't be representing positive or negative. While writing the given data, you can write it positive or negative. But whenever you are representing, don't represent either positive or negative. Okay. And this 20 is H. With respect to H, it will be B dash. And with respect to D distance on the same line, with respect to D distance, it will be small letter B, which is nothing but the top view. So here you are right, it is 30 mm and this distance is 20 mm. You have to write, then it will be completed. And okay. And this is what your seniors have drawn. Same thing. On the same vertical line, you have to locate B dash point and B point. Okay. Example, in this case, it is reverse. It is H equal to 30. Example, H equal to positive 30 and D equal to negative 20. So what happens here is, so with respect to 30, it will become B dash because H is 30. It will become B dash. If letter D is minus 20, so with respect to 20, it will become B. Okay. On the same vertical line only, you have to mark the B dash and B. Okay. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. Okay. So this is about the second quadrant. You have to make sure that you know the given data. I'm going to next problem. So next problem, point C, below 20 mm HP and 30 mm behind BP, draw its projection. So H is positive or negative, D is positive or negative. with values.
Both
So
are
this is my
negatives.
HP line.
Both are negative, sir.
Both are negative. So what is the H value?
Minus
30 or 20?
20.
Minus
20.
20. What is the D
Minus 20,
value?
sir.
Minus
Minus
30.
D
30.
value minus 30. So
Third
with respect
quadrant.
to HP, yeah. So the quadrant is third quadrant.
Right.
So the Q is third quadrant, and it is 30 mm below HP. With respect to HP, it is 30 mm below, and with respect to VP, it is 30 mm behind VP. 20 mm below HP and 30 mm behind VP. We have to start. Okay, so it is third quadrant. So it will be like this. This is a transparent. This VP and HP are transparent so that we can see, observer can see from this side. Okay. So the point is somewhere C. Capital letter C is somewhere this one. And this height is negative H. And this is negative D value. Is projected on the HP and VP. So how you have to draw is first draw the XY line. Draw the XY line. Now mark the center is O because H and D are not lying on HP. So whenever H and D are 0, then this 0 will overlap. Whenever the H and D has some values, you have to mark the point O. And then give the, these are overlap. This I am making as a, rotate as a clockwise direction. So that this point will be above. So mark the point H. First mark the D distance. This is my D distance, this is my H distance. Okay, so this H will be, this is my H distance will be below, and whatever the D distance, this is my D distance will be above XY line. So first I have to mark the D distance. So D is nothing but the top view. So top view I have to write small letter, and H distance is nothing but the front view. Front view I have to write C dash, and I have to write this value is 20 mm. Okay, so the problem is completed like this. This can be asked as a 2 mark question. It can be asked in the exam. So this is what your seniors have drawn. Draw the XY line. Take above 30 mm because this D distance is rotated above XY line. So above XY line 30, and mark the point as the top view. Top view is small letter. And next from the O, take the bottom and C dash. With respect to H distance, it is the front view. Front view will be C dash. Yeah, any doubts you can unmute and you can ask. If anyone has any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. If no doubts, I will be going to next problem. If you understand that previous concept, what is the quadrants method, if you understand, then it is easy for you to solve this problem. Okay, just know the values of H value, D value, and know the quadrant, which quadrant it is there, and then you can solve the problem easily. Okay. So I'm going to next problem. So point D, the point D. So whenever it is point D, the front view will be small letter D dash, and the top view will be small letter D, and the side view, another side view will be small letter D double dash. So these things you have to remember before starting the problem. And H, can anyone tell me what is the H and D value, positive or negative?
Minus 20.
Minus 20
Minus 20.
H equal to minus 20 and D equal to
plus 30.
Plus
plus 30. And quadrant?
Second quadrant.
H is negative and D is positive.
fourth quadrant.
Fourth quadrant.
So this is fourth quadrant because this is my HP. HP is below H. Below H, there are two possibilities. Either it can be third quadrant or fourth quadrant. Whenever it is below HP, there are two possibilities. Third quadrant or fourth quadrant. But D is positive. So whenever the in front of vertical plane, then it is the fourth quadrant. Okay. So I will tell you. Whenever this is the HP, whenever HP is positive, two quadrants, either the first quadrant or second quadrant. Okay. Whenever the HP is negative, there is a two possibility. One is third quadrant or fourth quadrant. Similarly, whenever the vertical plane is in front of vertical plane, there are two possibilities. Either it is the first quadrant or fourth quadrant. And whenever it is behind the vertical plane, there are two possibilities. Either it can be second quadrant or third quadrant. So like this, you have to make a graph and then you can easily know it is in which quadrant. Okay. So H is -20 and D is +30, and the quadrant is fourth quadrant or fourth angle method. We call either fourth quadrant or fourth angle method. We will be calling it. So it will be like this, and the observer will be here. And in order to see this both the shapes, you are rotating this in the clockwise direction. We are rotating this in the HP and the clockwise direction, and we will be seeing it. Okay. And first you have to draw the XY line. First you have to draw the XY line. And there is no H is not 0, D is not 0. So that's the reason you have to write the center O. Center O. And first take the H distance. H is negative. So -20. With respect to H, you will get the front view. Front view is nothing but D dash. With respect to H distance, you will get the front view D dash. And with respect to D distance, you will get small letter. So you will get the top view. So it will be small letter. Okay. And draw everything with H pencil and give the dimension. Give the dimension with the 2H. Give the dimension with the 2H. Give the dimension with 2H and highlight these points with HB pencil. Highlight with 2 to 3 times with the HB pencil. It should be darker. These points should be darker. These points should be darker. You have to highlight with the HB pencil. And this is what your seniors have drawn. Okay. On the same vertical line with respect to O, draw a vertical line 20 and 30. On the same line, D dash and D you have to represent. Okay. Yeah, any doubts you can unmute and you can ask. Anyone any doubts you can unmute and you can ask. Okay. So practice once, you will be understanding easily. Okay. Once practice, it will be easy. Okay. Yeah. So in the previous problems, in the previous 6 problems, what we learned is only the front view and top view we have learned. Only vertical plane and horizontal plane you have learned. There is another projection on the auxiliary plane. Auxiliary plane to know the side view. So if the shape is very complex, then we will be projecting the object shape on the side view also, so that we can see it. So everyone watch my video. I'm stopping the share. Watch this video once. Okay. So pin to my pin to EIE1 video. Okay. So everyone look this video. So this is my horizontal plane and this is my vertical plane. So whenever I want to see, this is my first angle projection. This is my first angle projection. Okay. This is my first angle projection. So this is my horizontal plane. I can see my top view on horizontal plane. I can see my front view on this vertical plane. If I want to see the side view, what I have to do is I have to take one more plane. I want to take one more plane. So this is my plane I'm adding here. So this is my plane I'm adding here. So it should be like this. This is my front view. This is my top view. Front view and top view are same vertical line. And my front view and side view. Front view and side view are same horizontal line. Okay. So whenever we want to see, yeah. So whenever you want to see, this is the actual shape. This is the shape will be like this, and we are projecting the object. This is my front view. Front view I'm projecting. This is my top view I'm projecting. If I want to see side view, I'll be projecting here. And from the observer, you are the observer. So what we are doing is we are projecting, rotating this one, so that you can see my front view and top view. And if you want to see my side view, I want to rotate like this. So this is my front view and top view are same vertical line, and my front view and side view are same horizontal line. And this line, whatever you are seeing, this line is called XY line. This line is called XY line. And this line, whatever you are seeing, this vertical line, whatever the line you are seeing here, this is called X1 Y1 line. This vertical line is X1 Y1 line, and this one is the horizontal line. Horizontal line is the XY line, and this vertical line is X1 Y1 line. You have to assume that. Okay. So I'm sharing the screen now. So watch it. Yeah. Yeah. Any doubt? Yeah. Any doubt? Yeah. So this is the same concept we are discussing here. Suppose there's a point Q. Suppose there's a point Q in the first quadrant. So that is this is the first quadrant. So if I'm projecting on the front view, it is called Q dash. It is called Q dash. If I'm projecting below, it is called Q. If I'm projecting on the side view, it is called Q double dash. Okay, this is called auxiliary vertical plane. One more plane we are adding to vertical plane and horizontal plane to see the side view. Okay, and so I'll be drawing this one. And if in the problem they are the shortest distance, if they are the shortest distance, so if you look at here, if you look at this one, look at carefully. This is my point here, and this is my Q double dash. This is my Q double dash, and if I want to join this Q double dash in the shortest distance, what is the path I have to take? Suppose this is a square. Example, this is a square, and if I want to join, I join directly. Okay, and can anyone tell me what might be this angle? What will be this angle in order to directly join from this square? There's a square. There's a square. From this point, you are joining Q double dash, and I'm joining this one directly. Can anyone tell me what will be this angle?
45.
45. So it will be exactly 45 because this total is 90 degrees. This total is 90 degrees, and I'm bisecting exactly half. So this will be 45. So if in the problem they give the shortest distance, then you have to take the angle as 45. You have to take the angle as 45 directly. Whenever you see the term shortest distance, suppose if this is the point and this is the point, I'm going in this way. This is not the shortest distance. This is not the shortest distance. Shortest distance is this one. This is the shortest distance. So you have to take the angle as 45 degrees. Okay. So whenever in the problem you see the shortest distance, take the angle as 45 degrees. Yep. Once again, everyone raise your hands. I'll be taking the attendance. We'll discuss the auxiliary plane problem in the next class. Okay. And today's class, complete the drawing sheets so that I will be collecting by Saturday. Today is Monday. By Saturday, I will be collecting the sheet number 5. Okay. Yeah. Everyone raise your hands. Anyone not raising your hand, please mark as absent. I don't call roll numbers manually. I will see the raising hand. If anyone not raising the hand, will be marked as absent. And those who haven't raised their hands in the previous, whenever I called, if they raise their hands now, I'll mark them as present. Okay. Yeah, 16, 25, 26, 33, 36, 42, 45, 49, 57, and 21.
Sir,
If you're not
25.
raised-
Sir, 25.
Yeah. Okay, just now you raised 16, 26, 33, 36, 42, 49, 57, 21. Yeah. I'm lowering all the hands, attendance completed. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. No doubts, you can leave. If any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. No doubts, you can leave. Class has ended. Class has ended. Any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. No doubts, you can leave the meeting.
Sir, can I leave?
Yeah, 25.
Sir, I have submitted my sheet 3, sir, but
Yeah, I didn't correct it. So I'll be correcting by tomorrow evening. I'll be correcting.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, any doubts, you can unmute and you can ask. No doubts, you can leave the meeting.
Sir,
Yeah. Yeah, 26.